Okay, so Ashley says, thinking about balancing compassion for my parents with the trauma they passed on, you've navigated this with so much grace. I hope you feel proud of that. This is no hate to Ashley. Do not be mean to Ashley in the comments, okay? Please be nice to her. I'm begging you all, if you're mean to Ashley, I will delete the comments. I'm telling you right now. Don't make me gentle parent you, okay? But you're not the first person that has said this, Ashley, and I have a lot of mixed feelings around it, and I want to explain why. I feel like telling a victim that the way they tell a story, doing it with so much grace, is a way that we uphold the perfect victim, dichotomy. And it's funny because, by talking about the trauma that my parents experienced, especially, my mom from my grandma, and having empathy for that, the goal of me doing that is to help people realize, that this is a generational cycle of trauma, right? And that there's no such thing as a perfect victim. From my understanding, every person that becomes an abuser was a victim at some point. Generally because of the cycle of trauma and how it works. And when someone's abused, develops trauma, and then they end up either choosing to, go a separate path, like what I'm doing, or they don't do anything, and they end up internalizing a lot of harmful beliefs about themselves, which leads to them doing these trauma responses that are abusive. And don't get me wrong, I did that for the first 25 years of my life, okay? This growth has really happened a lot in the past 4 years or so, where I've really started to address these trauma responses and these issues head on and being able to unpack them. I caused a lot of harm in my early 20s to people. But I also feel like it kind of praises me for being able to talk about this with a calm tone. I've also gotten a lot of comments that say things like, wow, I admire the way that you're able to talk about this so calmly and tear it apart and point out the Darvo and stuff. That is not, you don't want to aspire to that, okay? This is called over-intellectualizing instead of feeling your feelings. It's a trauma response, babe. And even more so, it's a learned thing. I had to learn how to do this because my parents wouldn't listen to me if I was emotional about anything. So I had to learn how to be calm and explain my feelings to them without actually having any visible feelings. And it's not something that people should aspire to. Really. And it makes me sad that so many people have to, when they share their story, come on wherever they're doing that and be so calm because they know if they're emotional that people will tell them they deserved it or blame shift onto them. And I want to be honest, I'm fucking pissed. I was able to be relatively smooth in that video, calm, I guess, self-regulated, because I had talked about this so much. That does not mean I've healed from it. I am still very much actively healing from this. This happened only a couple weeks ago. It's still very raw. And the feeling that I feel the most is just pure rage. Even talking about it, I had to take breaks because I was just seeing red. And you know what I want to do? I want to come on here and I want to scream at my parents, at my grandparents. And there are videos of me doing that. There are videos of me relaying my experiences with full anger on display. And I had to stop doing it because people were so awful to me in the comments. So while Ashley, I don't think that this is your intention, I just want to maybe challenge us a little bit to recognize how saying that, talking about it with so much grace, is very similar to telling someone they're so well spoken. It's a form of praising, tone policing yourself. It's a form of praising self-regulation above everything. Self-regulation isn't healthy in a moment where you should be emotionally dysregulated because people abused you. It is not normal that I was able to be calm while explaining it. It's a form of really dissociation. I talk about it like it's somebody else, and that's how I'm able to acknowledge and recognize all those things. In the moment when those things were happening, I was too close to it and I couldn't because it was me, right? It was about me and my family. And the further away you get, the easier it is. But the feelings, they're still there. So I'll just say, thank you for your comment. I appreciate you engaging. I'm not upset with you in any way, shape, or form. I want to make that clear. But just yeah, we can have nuance and we can recognize and have empathy for the trauma that our parents experienced, but also fuck them. Just because they experienced that trauma doesn't mean that what they did to us was okay and that it's not their responsibility to fix it, because it is. And also, I shouldn't have to be calm and talk about it with grace for people to see it as a story that's worthy of listening to and a victim that's worthy of sympathy. And I hope that maybe someone learned something from this video. I know a lot of people in the comments are also victims. So Ashley, if you're a victim, I know you get it. I really am not trying to lecture you or make this feel disciplinary. That's not the goal. It's just to maybe make us think about the words that we use and the impact that they have and the structures that they uphold, especially when it comes to like talking about things with grace, talking about things calmly, seeing level, like headed. That's upholding white supremacy, just altogether. Because what happens when people of color come on here, especially women of color come on here and they share their stories? They're told that they're being too aggressive. They're told that, well, they probably wanted it. Or that, well, maybe if they weren't so angry and upset, their parents could have loved them. Hell, I've been told that before. Because it to an extent, part of it's misogyny too. But misogyny, patriarchy, it's rooted in white supremacy, you know? So can we just like stop praising people for being calm? Maybe. I think that's probably a good idea. Let victims share however they want to share, with whatever tone they want to share, with whatever feelings they want to share. It doesn't invalidate or make their story any less important or powerful. All right, thank you so much. I love you all. Bye.